That's exactly how I talk to myself. Stop being insecure.
Oh
Right?
my God, no.
Bro, tell me.
Hey guys, I'm Lonnie,
I'm Nat.
and this is
Bro.
Tell Me. So delayed.
Okay, today we're gonna be talking about a subject that I feel like not a lot of people talking about.
And that
What
is
is it?
insecurities.
Why is it such an undesired feeling?
We look at it as such a negative thing because a lot of us kind of feel like our insecurities limit us from doing a lot of things. Because when we see successful people or stars, we think that they're just so confident about themselves
Ah.
because we think they're pretty. We think that they're so motivated, they're so determined, they have all of this success and followers and everything. So
Yeah.
we determine their personality
Ah.
their personality traits as good.
Yeah. So you feel like confidence is associated with like successful relationships, successful career, successful life in general. And then insecurity is associated with like failure in relationship, failure in career, not getting anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like that's so funny because insecurity is such a human feeling.
Hmm.
And even in these stars, I bet they have some insecurity. And you know what? I actually think the bigger the star, it's possible that the bigger insecurity.
I think so. I think also, for example, with a lot of influencers, I've seen a lot of people come out saying that, oh, yeah, with all of the fame and recognition that they're getting from their followers and their channel and everything, they notice their mental health kind of declining because they're depending on all of the likes, on all of the
Mm.
follows, on all of the responses that they get. And also, you're putting yourself out there for more people to react to you. And when we receive negative feedback, it's not the most ego boosting, self esteem boosting thing,
Yeah.
right?
So they're receiving their identity is based on their input from the external sources.
Mm.
Yeah. I think that all the bad rep related to insecurity actually stems from insecurity manifesting into something that is ugly because we try to push it down, we try to hide it.
Yeah. Like, can you elaborate a little more on that? Like examples?
Like, I mean, this is like a true story, right? Like, I might feel insecure in a relationship, but I don't want to feel insecure because that's related to someone undesirable. So I try to push it down, and then it manifests into something kind of like blaming the other person.
I think you bring up a good point because, for example, when we have these insecurities or these problems that are bothering us, we don't talk about them,
Mm-hmm.
right? So insecurities also manifest other things, as you were saying. Like they just manifest even more problems because we're not addressing them, we're not understanding them, we're not knowing how to deal with them.
Yeah, because we don't know, how would we know the cause of our insecurity if we're not even accepting that it's there? So how are we gonna fix it if we don't know the cause, right?
So this is something that I noticed about myself in high school is that I was a pretty insecure person, and like anybody, you're just like, stop being insecure. That's exactly how I talk to myself. Stop being insecure.
Oh
Right?
my God, no.
No, so, but I also in this time, I learned to accept my insecurities, right?
Mhm.
I said to myself, okay, just own yourself, and highlight the things that are just normal you and turn them into your own little quirks.
Yeah, I actually feel like a lot of infidelity stems from insecurity, right? Because like
Mm.
the person likes the ego boost, like likes the validation from the attention they get from whoever they're cheating with,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So because they're not facing their own insecurity, I bet like these people are the people who say like, "Oh, I'm confident, right? I don't care about what other people think." or whatever. And then they do that because they need that external validation.
I think that makes a lot of sense. That you said a lot of infidelity stems from insecurity because maybe what you're looking for from being unloyal is some kind of confidence, right? That you're not receiving from either your significant other or yourself. If you don't have that fulfilled, you're going to look for it somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. So today, Lani and I want to kind of normalize, but not make a trend. We're not like promoting like everyone being insecure or whatever. That's not what we're saying. But we're trying to normalize feeling insecure and it being something we talk about and face instead of acting like it's not there.
Yes, exactly. Because they're going to be there. And again, as we said, if you push them down, it's not going to help solve the problem. You're just going to keep being insecure about it and you're not going to address it. We are not going to address it if we don't acknowledge it.
I actually don't like the advice, fake it till you make it. It worked for me for a long time, but faking it till you make it doesn't actually, it brings you the external success, like all these famous people, but it doesn't actually bring you the internal peace.
I can see where you're going or coming from. For me, I don't mind the fake it till you make it because I definitely have done it as well. But my understanding of fake it till you make it is mainly focused on the fact that if I keep doing this, it's just like going to become a habit and eventually I will actually believe it.
I don't know if that works if you don't face your insecurity head on and then become curious as to why it was there to begin with. Because then you're addressing at the root, right?
Right. But so I think you have to fake it till you make it, but still address that insecurity. You know what I mean?
So I want to change it to face it till you make it. You keep facing your you keep facing your insecurity until you make it.
I like it. I like
Yes.
it. Face it till you make it.
Yes, face it. So that's what we're gonna do today. Lani and I are gonna face our top 2 insecurities, and we're gonna talk about how we think they manifested in the first place and how we're working on them.
Are you ready?
All right. Why do you look scared?
Because we're facing our insecurities in front of people. These are the things that we don't usually tell people.
That's true. That is true. And that's why we want to normalize it, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Because like the insecurities that I have are everything, really. Like I've been through so many boyfriends and I still don't feel like enough. You know. Ooh, I might cry today. How exciting.
Oh my God. What? No, what do you mean? Do you want to introduce that over?
I mean, my number one is literally I guess my number one is also my number two because it's everything, you know?
You're insecure about everything?
Everything.
Everything? Really?
Everything. Oh,
girl, that's crazy. Okay, I never knew this because Lani seems like a very confident person.
I'm gonna cry.
What?
Fine. Thanks. Ooh, look, my eyes are red.
Oh, I guess I'll get to learn more about you today too.
Okay.
You said you're insecure about everything?
Everything. So like, ooh, hold on. Okay. Ugh.
That's so surprising. I'm genuinely surprised, like, cause I would never guess, and we've never talked about this.
No. Like, I am consistently facing it till I make it, right? So I since high school I've acknowledged that I have these insecurities about am I smart enough, pretty enough, talented enough, knowledgeable enough about something, am I capable enough, do I communicate well enough, do I consider people's feelings well enough, do I like everything. I think about all of these things all the time and I consistently have to tell myself when I feel like I'm probably overthinking a subject that, okay, who is concerned in all of these thoughts? If it's just me, what can I do about it right now? If it's other people, are these people investing as much thought into this situation as I am? If they're not, why am I doing this? And then that's how I try to get over that type of insecurity, that kind of overthinking. But yeah, no.
What do you think it stemmed from? Like caring so much about everything. Because it sounds like because insecurity is about like how other people perceive you, right?
Mm.
So like what do you think that came from? Like caring about how people perceive you in all aspects.
I mean, I think it's a lot of things. Maybe it comes from having moved around a lot as a kid and always trying to fit in, the fact that, like, and I'm not saying my family are bad people,
Yeah.
but, we all grow up with family who can say things that seem a little judgmental and that makes you second guess, oh, am I this enough? Because they've commented on it and maybe I'm not. And then they can also contradict whatever they just said. And then it makes you second guess something else. So, like, oh, maybe I'm not that enough either, but they don't make sense to happen at the same time.
I think
It's
it's
a
really
lot.
hard when you're young because your need when you're young is to be loved and you don't know your identity, right? And you're getting your identity from people around you. So if that's the identity they're feeding you as a child, then it makes you feel like, well, I'm never enough,
Mm.
right?
For me, as far as communication, as far as any kind of emotional connection or like that, those I think were not really discussed. Like, it wasn't normal to actually talk about your emotions, your feelings, anything that bothered you in my family, during my childhood, even in through my adolescence and early adulthood. And so learning to communicate those things and acknowledge them, analyze them, and figuring all of them out happened in my adulthood.
Yeah. And I feel like what's so fucked up about the education system. Like before we teach kids algebra, we should teach kids how to like face their emotions and figure out what they need because emotions always tell you that you need something instead of pressing it down because your needs are not met.
What about you?
Okay. So my number one, have always struggled with it. A lot better now. Used to be so bad. Is about my body image. So like beauty standard. And I thought about this a lot, or I faced it a lot because I really was like, okay, like why is this such a big challenge in my life? And I found that it's actually because I never had a relationship with my dad, and I grew up with two moms, right? Like my aunts, and people around me were all women, and I never really had like a healthy male role model around me. I never had a consistent male figure in my life. So my first impression of what a male's love is like is through romance novels. And they're always talking about like the looks of the women. Like and I read pretty explicit romance novels for kids. Wow. Like there were like a lot a lot of sexy scenes.
You're hilarious.
And I think that's what I learned love is from men. Is being wanted. And it's not even it's almost like I want you so much, like I force myself on you. And that's what I correlated to being loved by a man. And I think that's why I I have so much insecurity with my looks because I feel like that's the only way to earn love from a man. And I've noticed this because every time I see a girl that I perceive to be more attractive than me, I realize that it's never from my standpoint. I'm not looking at her from my standpoint. I'm always looking at her from my potential partner standpoint. How would this person see this girl? Would they think she's more attractive than me? Even when I'm single, I think like that.
Like, I don't have a partner right now, but what
Yeah,
does my
but
partner
if I
think
had a
about her?
partner, yeah, exactly, exactly. It's like that, and it's so unconscious. It's
Yeah.
so crazy. And also, it's because like growing up, I was really close to my cousin and my sister, and they're like cute kids, right? So everyone wanted to play with them, and no one wanted to play with me because I cry a lot as a kid. I cry a lot now. But yeah, so no one wanted to play with me because they were cuter. Oh, I went to an all girls school, and I remember this memory so explicitly where we were playing princesses, and I wanted to be a princess, and they said that I couldn't be a princess because I was too fat and dark skinned. I was like chubby as a kid. Yeah, so they said that I can only be a maid.
So that's against the rules, and you can't sit with us.
And that was that stuck in my head.
That's
Yeah,
so sad.
I know. So I had like so much insecurity with my body to the point where like recently I like got a fat transfer. Like I gained weight just to have a fat transfer from like the back of my arms and like a little bit from my thighs. Like very small amount. I got fat transfer into my breast where it just up my cup from like three-fourth of B cup to like a full B cup. So it's not noticeable, but it boosted my confidence because I felt that bad about my body. That tiny change just gave me so much confidence. Yeah. And I have like this battle, and I just wanted to bring it up to you because you said something to me when I said this to you that I thought was really like helpful. But I said I had this struggle between like, shouldn't I love my body enough to not get anything altered? But I feel so good that I got it done. Like I feel so confident. So there's like this contradicting thought of like, ooh, I feel so confident, but I feel so bad that I got that done. You kind of pointed it out to me that like, hey, that's another insecurity. Like me worrying about thinking that I should love my body and not alter it and having that conflict, it's because the conflict of I was scared of how other people would perceive me altering my body versus me feeling confident about what I did.
Which is another way, I guess, that the insecurity is manifesting another insecurity, right?
Yeah, that's so crazy. Like two layers of
Yeah. I think whatever your decision was, it's because you did it for you, right? As long as you went with your decision for yourself, and as long as you feel like like it makes you feel better, I don't think you should feel guilty for feeling better as long as no one else is hurt by it.
Yeah. So I thought, yeah, that was really helpful. And this is why it's so great to talk to friends about these things because you help each other figure it out. Okay, so what's your second one?
Like, I mean, it kind of branches, I guess, from the first one, right? Like me being insecure about everything is just mainly, am I enough for the person that I want to be with?
Oh.
You know? And it sucks because this insecurity sucks because I know that it's just something within myself. No matter what that person can tell me, I know that I have to believe it. I have to believe in myself and not just in the words that they give me because I don't want to rely on them. It's not fair for me to rely on them to feel like I'm enough. I need to know that I'm enough. And if they don't think that, then okay, maybe I'm probably not for them. And maybe they're not for me. But I need to know that who I am, who I feel comfortable being, who I want to be, is enough for me and is enough for the person that I think I'm meant for. And that's what I always try to remind myself as well when I'm in a relationship and I'm feeling really insecure. They can do what they can to try to reassure me, but I can't put 100% or even 90 or an expected amount of percent on them to carry the weight of making me feel secure about the relationship. So I just remind myself, okay, am I at least being who I want to be? Am I at least able to focus on myself in the relationship? And if I am, and they're feeling really good about where we are, then this is the relationship that I want to be in. And as long as I also feel like I can still talk about these things with the person, this is how I feel. it's in it's in here, it's in here, it's in here. Um
Face it. Face
Facing
it
it.
till you make it.
But yeah, as long as I feel like I can be those things for myself, and as long as I feel like that person is okay with me being me the way I want to be, the way I am, I feel good, and we can talk about all of those things, then I feel good. As good as I can working through it.
Do you think this insecurity manifested like from the same sources from the first one?
I think this insecurity started in high school with I don't remember if I mentioned it before, but I definitely mentioned that there was like just I didn't really like, it was an unfavorable relationship that I was in. It was my first like official relationship, and the guy would actively try to use the pickup strategies on girls while we were dating. We would be at the mall, and we would be with his friends, and then he'd be like, watch this, and then he like goes and finds girls and like talks to them in front of me.
If you that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would definitely do it. um if you look back, why do you think he did that?
Because he was a teenager and he liked the control, maybe. Whatever trauma he had from his past that we never addressed because, we just didn't talk about it. We
What
were
do you think
teenagers.
that made him feel like when he did that in front of his friends?
I'm sure he felt power. Or
Where do
seemed
you think
like
that really stems from? If he needs to do that to feel power, it's probably from insecurity.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah, because he probably felt like that's what made him cool. That's what gave him values. And if someone does that to get values, to be cool, that means that they don't know their values. They don't know that they're cool. Like they have to do something like that to get external validation from their friends. Like, oh, that's so cool, you did that, you know?
Mhm.
So his action was just for him to have that validation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they actually knew why they were doing that.
Yeah. Sometimes they do, but they're okay doing it and probably don't feel comfortable sitting with that emotion all the time.
Yeah.
But we can't
Yeah.
judge and say that they never acknowledge it. I'm sure there are people that just don't, and they don't know how, or they don't want to,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I can't say that that's the same for everybody.
Yeah. Maybe they like acknowledge it, but they do realize that this is like the quickest way to not feel that.
Hmm.
Like if you feel insecure, the quickest way to not feel that is to get attention from someone, right?
Like on Instagram, we post something and then we get the likes.
Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. That's why people post stuff when we feel bad,
Yeah.
because it makes you feel good.
Or like those random guys who'll come up in your DMs after like ghosting you for like 5 months, and they'll be like, "Hey, WYD." Like,
Yeah, because they're trying to get that quick validation.
yeah.
So if people ghost you and come back, don't think it's any flattering attention on you. They're just trying to get a quick hit of attention.
So of gratification. So
Mm.
remember that video of the like little girl who's just like, "Oh yeah, if you loved him and then you let him go and then he comes back, let him go again because that means someone else didn't want him. So you didn't either."
I think is it Mila, the girl?
I don't know. I don't
She's
remember.
probably grown now.
But she was so sassy, and I was like, yes,
Yeah, I like her.
this is the energy. Yeah.
Yes. So my second insecurity right now would be what I put out on YouTube. And I think I usually don't really give a lot of attention about what people I don't know think about me, but I think there's someone that I really care about. And I'm saying this as an assumption because they never actually explicitly said it, but there is someone I care about that I feel like is waiting to see me fail. So when I put something out and it's not doing well, like my past two videos, I have like so little views. And I feel like usually I wouldn't care about because I really believe in what I put out. Like I believe in what I said, but I felt so much anxiety from that. And it's because I know in the back of my my mind, I'm like, are they seeing this? Like, are they getting joy from me not doing well? And that makes me feel really sad and embarrassed. And I think that comes from when I was little, I was like chasing validations from people in my family, like people that I love. And how I'm working through that is I just have to tell myself that like this is just part of the process and I believe in what I say. And if it even if it doesn't do well, even if they are happy that I'm not doing well, like I just have to still face what I believe, face my heart until I make it. Like I have to keep going.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And maybe it would also help you to think that if there's someone you care about, if they cared about you, they shouldn't be hoping for your failure, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe that won't help with the insecurity, but that will help with you just feeling a little more at peace about letting them go and not focusing on what they think about what you're doing.
Yeah, that's definitely something I'm trying to work on. And I don't know if just like muscle memory of your brain.
Focusing on different things is a lot of exercise because your brain is kind of goes on autopilot sometimes
Yeah,
in the way
exactly.
that it processes things. And so,
Yeah. It's like for almost 3 years, I wanted validation. Like their validation was so meaningful to me. And for me to like turn that off, maybe it's not natural to me yet.
and I think that depending on the topic, the things that are more personal to you, if you feel like they're the things that are most important to you, your partner's validation shouldn't have to matter as much. If it's something that's actually personal and really
Yeah.
important to you.
You want to look for a partner who supports what you believe in, right? Not a partner who would call your dreams like a unicorn dream or something. I do like unicorns though, so maybe that's not a bad thing.
And maybe it is a unicorn dream, you know? You can, but like a
Yeah.
unicorn dream in the way that it sparkles and
Fun.
shines and it's unique.
Colorful.
You know?
It's magical.
Exactly. It's a magical dream,
Yes.
but
Oh, so
attainable.
they actually do support me after all. Yeah, yeah. But I think, yeah, like you said, I don't think not only that I will overlook what my partner would think about what I'm doing, but I would want to be with someone who supports what I'm doing, like the cause. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because if they understand the cost, then like my value in it, doing it.
Yeah. So when I say maybe if your partner doesn't necessarily feel like your dream is that important or like calls it a unicorn dream or whatever, that's probably not the partner for you, one. But you want them to like at least not be discouraging for your dreams. You know, maybe they're not as invested and as like putting in as much effort into your dream as you are, whether it's like thinking about it or asking you about it or things like that, but at least like not trying to take you down for it,
Put you
you know?
down. Yeah,
And
definitely.
but definitely always if you have a partner who is supportive of the dream and involved in any way, then that's always appreciated.
All right. Well, that was kind of a heavy episode.
Yeah. Little
Uh,
all the emotions.
I hope that could encourage you guys to share some insecurity. If you feel uncomfortable, that's totally okay. But at least maybe talk about it with your friends and family, your loved ones.
Or us, even. If you feel like your friends and
Yes.
family, you can't talk to them about it, talk to us about it.
Yes. All right, guys. I hope that shifts your mindset about insecurity a little bit and makes you wanna face it till you make it.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to make souvenirs with like face it till you make
That's
it.
cute. I think, and then with like little stars and
Yes.
rainbows.
Unicorn.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say unicorns. Yes.
All right, guys. We appreciate you.
Bye. Oh yeah, like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes.
Bye. Hope to see you
Bye.
soon.